You're looking at a crucial leading indicator of global trade. Twice a year, buyers from everywhere in the world gather here in Guangzhou to do business. The global economic crisis is clearly affecting even the Canton Fair, the largest purchasing fair of its kind anywhere in the world. Every year, billions of dollars worth of deals are signed right here. But this time, visitor numbers are down sharply, especially buyers from the United States and Europe. Even those buyers who do manage to make it are holding back on orders. Mr. Karplus, you've been coming here for about 15 years. Can you tell me, are you still placing as many orders as you were in previous years?
No, I'm not. I'm placing orders for the short term, and we'll see what happens, really.
But you're based in Latin America. We're always hearing about how the developing economies will be able to ride this financial crisis through. Are you telling me that you're also affected?
I certainly am. There is no way that anybody can escape from this.
This class is for party, so...
Mr. Karplus, who is reluctant to buy, means sellers like this stuffed toy company from East China will have fewer orders to fill.
Our business is shrinking by quite a lot. This is directly related to the global economic situation. It is much harder to expand now. We can say that we are going through a rather difficult time. We started to see a slowdown at the beginning of the year, and it's gotten worse in the second half. Our US and European markets have been hit hard.
So how does a slowdown here affect China's real economy? We're off to the industrial heartland to find out. This is Shenzhen, located just across the border from Hong Kong. 30 years ago, all this was farmland. But late Paramount leader Deng Xiaoping singled out the area in 1979. It became China's first special economic zone and put the entire country on the path to spectacular economic growth. This is the factory of the world, the engine of China's economic miracle. But look a little closer, and it's clear the wheels are starting to come off. It's hard to go anywhere without seeing advertisements for factory space. Since the beginning of the year, tens of thousands of companies in this province alone have gone bust. Just how many is anyone's guess. I've come to meet a family hurt by this wave of bankruptcies. Lao Zhang was laid off in January. Now he can afford only this tiny flat for his family. So far, he hasn't been able to land another job.
Companies
have an age limit. Right now, there are a lot of young people looking for jobs, even high-educated people. So for those of us in our late 30s, it's very hard. My wife and I are both jobless. We have to start over. We don't know exactly what we can do. We really have to cut down our expenses.
This is the Bailing Da factory, Lao Zhang's former workplace. The boss disappeared months ago, along with millions of dollars in unpaid wages. Local officials have promised each employee a small initial payment, and today they're keen to see if that promise will be kept. So are we. So we muscle our way in with the crowd. As we wait for the cash to arrive, all the anger and confusion building for months spill over. Suddenly we become the target of frustration, directed at the outside world. Just as quickly, the anger fizzles. People have much bigger things to worry about. 1,000 workers, mostly from the poor interior parts of China, queuing for about $40 US. It's a cash handout from the government as a way to tide them over before this whole situation could be resolved. Workers tell me they're still waiting for 2 years of overtime pay plus 3 months of back wages. This isn't the US Fed, but it is a government bailout, Chinese style. The government doesn't want thousands taking to the streets every day in protest, so they'll be paid off. But the question is, with so many layoffs, what can these workers do next? Where will they go? Many come here to employment agencies. This is one of China's biggest, located in the suburbs of Shenzhen. The last few months of the year are usually quiet, but starting October, there's been a surge in job seekers. At the same time, fewer factories are recruiting. A crowd surrounds us as soon as we arrive. Some think we have jobs to offer, others simply want to talk.
A lot of companies don't follow the new labor law. They pay us late, sometimes so late that I don't want to work anymore.
I used to work in a factory in the town of Dongguan, but it's gone bankrupt because of the global financial crisis. The important thing is whether they pay what they owe you. A lot of companies don't compensate you when they go under.
They come from some of the poorest places in China, far from the bright lights of the big city. One migrant worker may support an entire family back home. Yuan Haihong is no exception. In October, she was forced to resign from a factory making toys for Mattel. Weeks later, she's still looking for a job.
I feel a lot of pressure. I'm trying to live a balanced life, but I have to support my sons at home. Right now, times are tough. That's why it's so important to find a proper job.
Haihong is just 25. She's been working for more than 10 years. Her main worry is her two sons, aged 7 and 5, living with her parents in rural Jiangxi province. Yuan Jingyong lives 10 hours away by bus. He sees his mum only once a year. He and his brother know her mostly as a voice on the telephone. So the responsibility falls on their grandmother. Altogether, she takes care of 4 grandchildren. So she's worried when she hears Haihong is now unemployed.
She left home at age 14. She never had an education. If she comes home, there is no money. She has to make money to support the boys.
The road from this village to the big city is well trodden. Migrant labor is the source of almost all the wealth here. All these homes were paid for by villagers working in South China's boom towns. A look around town tells you a lot about the country. This is the early morning market in Houtian village. Everyone shops here. But as you can see, most of the buyers and sellers are older. Their children are out working in the provinces south of here, and most are waiting for their children to send money home every single month. That's why what happens in China's rich manufacturing centers has a direct impact on the lives of villagers. In a hugely worrying sign, they say laid-off workers have started to come home, bringing with them the end of dependable monthly remittances. Clearly, the economic downturn has been much worse than expected. It's spreading from China's wealthiest cities, all the way to its poorest villages. For 3 decades since the establishment of Shenzhen, the Communist Party has made a deal with the Chinese people. Work hard, keep quiet, don't demand too many political rights. In turn, we will make you rich. Now the global financial crisis is threatening that fragile bargain.